Hello, this is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. I am your host of this motivational and inspirational podcast, and I'm now 15 days out from when I first went to the emergency room and 8 days after my surgery. I am doing so much better at this time. I can only give God the praise and glory, for He is true to what He stated that He will be with me always, even until the end of this world, that He will never leave me nor forsake me. On January 1, 2023, I made a declaration that I was going to place my faith and my trust only in God, that I was going to live or do my best to live a worry free year, meaning I wasn't going to worry about bills. I wasn't going to worry about anything. The only thing I wanted to do was concentrate my mind on God, how to please Him, how to serve Him, and how to continue to love Him and to continue my journey and my walk with Him. Well, I did not realize that a test was going to be coming after I made that declaration. That on January 11th, I had issues where I was spewing up some stuff from my stomach. Later found out that my stomach was in my chest, along with partial of my colon. And then they had to drain some fluid that had created or ballooned in my stomach, and I had to have surgery. A week later, I had that surgery, and now I'm at the towards the end or the middle of recovery. I'm not 100%, but I'm so much better than I was in the beginning. Now, as I told you, this journey was all about faith, trust, and believing. Faith in God that He will do what He said He was going to do. Believe that He was going to do as He stated that He was going to do, and then trust in His word in the process. And in doing so, I found out some good news yesterday. I remember telling you that yes, bills were behind. Yes, there were those that were late, and finances was a little tight. Well, I've come to find out that my company, the job that I'm working, have been working with for almost 9 years, have let us all know that we are all getting pay rate increases in the next few weeks, a lot sooner than what we usually get our pay rates. It's usually speaking with your manager, doing your performance and this, that, and so forth. But no, they're not going to have us go through all that. They're just going to give us a pay rate increase. And on top of that, I found out that there is a bonus, that they're giving all the employees a bonus, and they are going to pay the taxes on our bonuses where we can get the full amount of those bonuses. That's nothing but God. Faith is not this hocus pocus things where your faith only should work when you see it happen right away. Things don't happen right away. When I told you in the beginning that bills was due, yes, things are behind, yes, money is tight. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew I had to get through the surgery. I knew I had to get the recovery before I even think about going back to work. And God had already met me at the gate. He already had everything already planned out. That not only a pay rate increase, but a bonus, and the company is taking the taxes on themselves, meaning that we get the full bonus. That is nothing but God. Now, I did read a couple of comments where they stated, or it was stated that it is a make believe, what they call one imaginary friend. If I have imaginary friend that can work out things where I can have extra money to do the things that I need to do, have a pay rate increase on top of that, I think I'd like that imaginary friend over anything, because many people want to mock God and want to say that he's not real. But every time you look at an ocean, who do you think created that ocean? And every time you look at a mountain, who do you think created that mountain? Man didn't do that. The only thing that man did build by hand was the pyramid. And we know it was built by man because it was a few centimeters off. But every time you look out and those that are able to see the Grand Canyon, who do you think built that? Or someone that will go and see the waterfalls? What man built that? You cannot tell me that God does not exist. He's existent. Many of us are afraid to try him because we are afraid to give up what we're used to having. And what is that? Control. If we're willing to relinquish our control, God can show us what he can do. Now, many may ask the question, well, did you have to pay for that blessing? Did you have to sow a seed somewhere? I sow seed in a ministry. I sow a seed in a ministry, and I've been doing this for about 10, 15 years in this same ministry. So I've been sowing seeds, but it's not the seed that I sow. It's the faith that I have in God. And this is what this is all about. Faith, belief, trust. And these are part of my layers of the month as well. Because without faith, it's impossible to please God anyway. Without faith, we can't get anywhere with God. All we can do is run into a whole lot of stumbling blocks. Now, when I stated in the beginning of this, on January 1, I didn't have any idea that any of this was going to happen. Not any idea. But God had to use me as that example. And he used me as an example, and it was scary because I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't know why I was going through what I was going through, but I never questioned it. I just said, okay, Lord, whatever I got to go through, I got to go through. And then when I got the diagnosis of a hernia, and then when I was told I had to have surgery, and then when the process of surgery was completed, then it's the recovery time. But nevertheless, God was with me throughout this whole process because everyone was looking at the gallbladder, but it wasn't my gallbladder. It was my stomach. It was a hernia. And so this is how I know God was with me from the very, very beginning. And he will not allow his word to return to him void without accomplishing or establishing what it was sent out to do. Meaning, when he put his word out there, it's up to us to believe. Now, whether a person believe it or not, that's their choice. Whether or not a person want to walk with God, again, that's their choice. But at the end of the day, I know that God did come through for me when I needed him the most. He went with me when I went to the doctor. He had the doctors look at something that they maybe have overlooked before or didn't even consider. They got me into surgery right away, and I'm at the recovery stage now. God knew about my finances before I even closed my eyes. But he also made a way that not only was he going to provide me money to take care of the bills that I need to take care of, but give me more money on my check to be able to do more with. Look how faithful God is. And we use this as, we want to use God as a leaning post for the wrong things sometimes. We need to look at who God is. He is faithful. He will endure with us. He is loving. He is caring. He is kind. He is our friend. Now, again, I did read a comment with your imaginary friend. But if that imaginary friend is going to be this good to me, I'd rather for him to be my imaginary friend. Because I don't need a person that call themselves my friend lie to me in my face and say, oh, I'm going to be there for you. And they are nowhere to be found. I am going to continue to take this walk with God. This is my faith challenge. I told you. My faith challenge was to continue to believe and trust in God and not worry about anything. Yes, Satan can play with your mind and he'll be toiling in your mind, wanting to say, now where's God now? You know your bills is due. You know this is due. Yeah, he'll toy with your mind, but it's up to you to stand on your faith and say, yes, I know the bills are due. Yes, I know they're behind. But I also know this God is faithful and God will come through for me. And He did. And this is only the beginning. The more faith that I show to Him, the more of His goodness He's going to show to me. I told you, I can't stay on the ship. I got to walk through the storm. Now, this might be one of many storms that I may have to walk through throughout this year. I don't know what's lying ahead. But each time I get through each storm, I get that much stronger. My faith get that much powerful, and God's relationship with me will get that much more profound and distinct. And this is what it's all about. I would not pay, I would not wish this upon anyone to have to go through what I went through. I've never had surgery in my life. I am 53 years old and never had surgery. This was a challenging thing for me. But God brought me to the storm. He walked with me through the storm. And now the storm is subsiding. And with the storm subsiding, I know that in Him I can put my trust. And this is what it's all about, standing on solid ground. You have to stand on your solid ground, believing that He is who He said He is, the great I am. He's whatever you need Him to be. And He was everything that I needed Him to be at this time and point in my life. This is why it's so important for me to talk about this. This was a challenge. This was a moment in my life that I did not know what the outcome was going to be. And I thank God for my children, my two grown kids. They stepped up to the plate. Mama, you need breakfast. Hey, Mama, you need lunch. Hey, Mama, you need dinner. What is it that you want to do? Do you need your medicine? They have been right there every step of the way. From laundry, cooking, doing dishes, whatever was needed done, they made sure to get it done. And God showed me how He can take care of me if all I need to do is trust in Him. And for that, I thank the Lord with all my heart and all my soul and with all that is within me. This is my very big faith challenge that God had. Number one, took me to the storm because I had to go to the storm. That was the sickness itself. He had to bring it up in order for it to get corrected. So we can always ask God to heal us, but sometimes we don't want to go through what we have to go through to be healed. And that is what it's all about. We have to face the storm. I faced the storm. God walked me through the storm. And now the storm is behind me. Now what do? I celebrate and I praise the Lord. I praised Him before, I praised Him during, and now I'm celebrating after the storm. And I'm going to continue to praise Him because this is who we are in Christ. This is what it's all about. It's all about trusting and believing who He is. I got off the boat. I traveled the storm. I've been through the storm. I passed the storm. Now I can get back into the ship and relax until the next one come along. It's not when the storm come, go hide in the ship. No, it's when the storm come, get out of the ship to see how to get through the storm. And then you can rest at the end of the storm. That's what it's all about. So this is again a blessing. And I hope that this helps you understand how God works. When you have faith in Him, when you believe in Him, when you have a relationship with Him, He can show you some amazing things. It's not a magic trick. It's not any hocus pocus. It's not anything unusual that you have to do. The one thing you just have to do, well, it's three things: faith, believe, and trust. That's all you got to do. Have faith in God, believe in God, and trust in God. And let Him do the rest of it for you. This is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. You have yourself a wonderful and blessed day.